Hey, it's time to face your fears with Dante Sears, your coach for life. Hey, it's me, Dante, and I am feeling super fabulous. It is quite late, and I'm just getting ready to go to bed, but I wanted to do a little video about self-sabotage. Self-sabotage. Yes, I said it. Sabotage, and I mean it. I really think this is a very, very important topic because I myself went through it. And today, when I was on the show, which I can't talk about, there was a young woman that told me that she was suffering from sabotage. Well, she didn't tell me, she explained her problem, and I could quite clearly see that she was sabotaging herself. And, just basically, she was saying that she had been in relationships, and every time that she gets into a new one, she would basically say like, oh, I don't really need to be in a relationship, and I don't really like this person, and kind of find all of these reasons to not be happy in their relationship, you know, and that's kind of what happens with sabotage. And it could be a relationship, it could be with your body. Like for me, whenever I would get in a bad relationship, I'd find myself sabotaging myself. Like, dated this guy and he seemed absolutely perfect, but whenever he wouldn't call me when I expected him to, I would go on this like binge, and I'm talking about like 10 cookies even. I'm talking about like a box of cookies and like 3 packages of different kinds of candy bars and, you know, I don't know, like some donuts plus like gummy bears and like $30 worth of junk food. Yeah. And I'd eat it all, and then, he'd finally call me, and I'm sitting there like, I can't go over your house now because I just ate $30 worth of junk food, and I'm too fat to go over. When this person, he was really dialed into my weight. And honestly, I just didn't really like that. So, that was a good example of sabotage where I was sabotaging myself because I knew that I wasn't happy. But then there's the kind of sabotage where it has nothing to do with the relationship you're in. It has more to do with just where you are as a person and what you've been through, and the fact that you're just like not allowing yourself to be loved, or not allowing yourself to move forward. As another example, as an actress, I remember really wanting to be in a Barbizon commercial. Like, I really, really, really wanted to be in Barbizon's commercials. And I finally got casted for this commercial with them. I was so stoked. And then on the day of it, and I was a starring role, by the way. There was like 3 of us, and I was one of the 3 stars of the commercial. I didn't show up. I don't know why. It's like I really wanted to, and in the morning I woke up and I was just like, I don't really want to go. They're not really paying that much. I could make more on my other job, real estate, or I can make $20,000 today. I'm gonna go do this stupid commercial for like a few $100s or a few $1,000s. Like, it's not worth it. And so I didn't do it, and I regret it to this day. I don't regret it anymore, but I mean, I kind of regret the fact that I let sabotage happen to me. I'm sure in the end it was meant to be. But the thing is with sabotage that you can end up sabotaging things you really want, like, working towards a career you really want, and then walking away someday because something doesn't meet your criteria, and not realizing maybe you just need to like adjust your mind, adjust the processing, because if you really wanted something and you went towards it and then all of a sudden changed your mind, it could be that you found some new information that didn't work for you, but you want to make sure that you're not wasting your time. You're not, working so hard to get something and then throwing it away, because time will pass by and you'll start to realize that all these things that you wanted, that you built up, all these moments you built up, aren't there anymore, right? And you've let these things slip away because of fear, or questions that you should have asked, or things that you just needed to work out. So some people can fix their sabotage consciously by thinking about what they're doing and realizing that these things aren't, they're not adding up to a healthy relationship. They're not adding up to what you want. Like some people, they drink coffee all the time to get energy. Well, is the coffee really getting you energy? Is it really? Or does it make you tired and you drink more and more, and then you're so jittery that then you have to do something else to get rid of the jitters? It's not worth it then. But if something's worth it, then it's worth it all the time. And you shouldn't have to sabotage yourself to be happy. Well, that's the sound of my voice giving out. So, what I want to say is that you should search really deep inside of yourself and be certain that when you take actions that are negative or opposite to what you intentionally meant to do, make certain that you're making this decision for the better part of yourself, for betterness. And a way to determine if you're sabotaging yourself, one way is sort of like, some sabotage is caused by conflict. So if you notice that maybe like you want to be famous, but you hate fame, that's a problem, right? Or you want to be a millionaire, but you don't want to work. That could be a problem. I'm not saying you can't be a millionaire by not working. It's probably not very feasible. But at least when you figure out that, oh, I want to be a millionaire and I don't want to work, you could try to work with that. Okay, well, then you better start playing the lottery and, come up with a good plan so that you can satisfy both sides of yourself that are having this problem. And then you can kind of join them together so that they can be a oneness inside of you again. So, if you're suffering from self-sabotage, you can either, as I just said, find the way that those two things that are the antithesis of each other can work together. Like, you want a good-looking boyfriend that's buff, but you don't want to go to the gym. Well, good-looking guys that are buff probably hang out at the gym. So how are you going to find them then? Solve for X. And how are you going to keep him if he likes to work out at the gym and you don't want to and he does? Fix it, or find out why it is that you want something but you don't want to work for it. Or why do you want this thing that might not actually be a good representative of what you want? Like I hear women say, oh, I want to find love. Like, oh, but I wanted this big buff guy or whatever. Do you really want love or do you want this big buff guy? Because those two things don't go together all the time unless you're willing to put in some more work. And you want to be genuine to who you are with the things that you want and ask for. So make sure that you're willing to put in the work to get what you want, or that you find a way to join them together. Like I said, you want $1 million, you don't want to work, you better play the lottery so that you can win. You want a buff guy that works out at the gym, but you don't want to work out, well, you better figure out another way to get to his heart. And do you really want that? Or do you want to say, hey, maybe I don't need this buff guy because I don't want to work out. Maybe I actually need a guy who's just strong because that makes me feel more secure. Or maybe you could just deal with the fact that you need to have more security yourself. Your choice. So now I've just given you a few tools that you can use to fix self-sabotage. And again, as I always say, if you're someone who suffered a lot of trauma, you might not be able to fix these things on your own, in which case you might need to seek out an intervention. You might need a hypnotherapist. You might need a mind-body intervention because trauma is stored unconsciously in the hippocampus, which is a part of the brain. And the only way to access the hippocampus is 1, through surgery, or 2, through hypnotherapy, because you need to be unconscious when it happens. Oh, and of course through shock. And I don't think you want any more of that, although there is shock hypnosis, which is something I'll explain another day. So if you're suffering from self-sabotage, please find a way to bridge the gap between what you want and what you're willing to do so that you can make it happen. Or work on what it is that you really, really want so that you can start to align your wants and needs together so that they actually represent what you want. Because a lot of times what we're looking for in other people are actually things that we need to feel within ourselves. Like I said, if you want this big, strong man, maybe you just need to feel security within yourself. You need to reckon with yourself about that. And again, I can help you with that, or you can seek out a knowledgeable professional that knows how to anchor confidence or security or happiness into you. And of course, I can do that for you if you need any help. So please, if you have any questions about what I'm saying here, feel free to comment below, ask questions. You can always inbox me, and please subscribe to my videos. I am so excited about this journey we're taking together. You are going to come away from this happier, healthier, and more successful than ever. Here is to your prosperity. Ciao.